So, greetings to everybody and welcome back. So we continue the Bodhicharyavatara 8th chapter, stanza number 38. We are going through the 8th chapter, which is basically about meditation, but especially about meditation on compassion. The main thing is how we can, generate such a genuine and deep compassion towards everybody, that we can actually willingly and happily, joyfully exchange ourselves with others. So in order to do that, we need to practice meditation, tame our mind, and for that, shamatha and vipassana meditations. And we talked a lot about creating the right conditions, right circumstances in which we can have that calm, abiding meditation. Because the two most important obstacles for our calm, clear, peaceful, and untranquil, mind that is that's tumultuous, is by because the most important thing is that our mind is disturbed. Our mind is disturbed and always kind of unstable because of two things: aversion, attachment. And if you look actually deeply, these two are very dependent on each other, like two sides of a coin. And generally, we talked a lot about aversion, hatred, and how to work on our negative emotions of hatred and things like that in the chapter on patience, which is most important, which is very, very important and very emergent practice, very, very important. But most people have more difficulties to understand attachment as an obstacle or as something that brings disturbance and that brings unhappiness and that brings lots of suffering. Most of the people in the world, if you say attachment brings suffering, they get angry, they get upset, they don't want to even listen to that because they think that attachment brings happiness, brings good, because when you have attachment, attached to something, and then it gives kind of you incentive to work and to dedicate our life for that. But if you look a little bit deeply, and then many people also misunderstand. I think I said too much on this maybe, but it's very important. It's very difficult to understand for most of the people. So therefore, I think I cannot emphasize enough. Even people understand a little bit about this, I think it would have a very deep effect on ourselves. To really understand the difference between love and attachment is extremely important. And to understand that love, kindness, compassion doesn't really, is something very, very good, very, very divine, very, very important that we need to cultivate. But, most of the time, all the time actually, for some sect beings, it is kind of there is this there is attachment attached to it. It is very, very difficult to differentiate these two, to let go of the attachment and then generate loving kindness and compassion just by that. When that is possible, then it's a genuine compassion. Of course, it is not easy, and we all have that. And I don't expect, we should not expect that we will be free from attachment. We will not be free from attachment. We will not be free from attachment for a long, long time. That's okay. That is, because if we are free from attachment, then we will be totally transformed. We will be almost not in samsara. But it is also important for us to understand deeply, how attachment is creating lots of suffering, pain, problem, difficulties, anxiety, worries, and also, turbulent in our mind, disturbance in our mind. So that's why we talked a little bit, and we'll talk more. Now, relinquishing this 38, relinquishing all other aspirations, focusing myself on one intent alone, I will strive to still my mind and calming it, to bring it to subjection. This is what it is translated as. So, letting go of all other aspirations, or not thinking or not aspiring or running after anything else, focusing myself on one thing alone, and that is to bring stillness in my mind, calmness in my mind, stability in my mind, peace in my mind. And then, calming it, to bring it to a subjection, so that I can, I can be master of my own mind. So this is, gist, it's very important. The Tibetan section of it is Sambayen Kun Tangte Dola Semba Jibui Sen Nyambri Yoshiro Torasha Chambasa, So here, when I see very clearly that all my, aversions, attachments to things, to people, to name, fame, all kind of things. Is what actually brings pain and suffering, problems to myself, So therefore, the more I can let that be, that I am not engaged in this attachment and aversion too much, or less, then my mind can be naturally in peace. And so therefore, what I'm actually doing when I'm meditating is not that I'm not thinking. It's not that I am not having any awareness, Of course I have awareness. I see things, I hear things. I don't become, unconscious. I am very conscious. I can be very aware. I see what is going on around me. I can see what is going on inside me. I can see everything and I can feel everything. I am just normal. I don't have to become, numb or anything like that. But because I know that it's not necessary for me to always cling to things, run after things, run away from things, or myself or others. So therefore, I can relax, and therefore I can allow any thoughts and emotions and, experiences, perceptions come, arise, and also go. If I am too much attached or to have aversion things, I cannot do that. So therefore, if I can do that, then I can learn to be free from distraction, free from disturbance. And to make myself free from disturbance, I don't have to have no thoughts, no awareness, unconscious. No. I can be very conscious. I can have all the thoughts, all the awareness, and all the going on, everything very clear, but completely peaceful. And once we understand this and be in this little bit, or learn how to be in that way, then I will understand how disturbing, how unpleasant, how much problem and suffering it is to be engaged in this, aversion, attachment, and all these kind of things all the time. At the moment, we don't have that peace of mind. So therefore, we don't know that, how much suffering we are going through, how much disturbance we are going through, how much how much tumultuous our mind is, how much unpeaceful our mind is when we are normally engaging in our samsaric way of always aversion, attachment, and all these things. We don't know. That's why it is said, that a great being, who have controlled their mind, who have found peace in their mind, they see that, they can see the sufferings, how much suffering we are going through when we think it's very normal, and we think it's very nice, or it's very exciting, or it's very, joyful. Actually, when we are excited and we have, if you look a little bit with deeper understanding, from that experience of people who know how to meditate properly, then you know how much actually suffering you are going through. So you because you have never experienced this and you don't understand. So actually, you perceive the tumultuous excitement. You see the suffering itself as something pleasant, and you actually try to create more, and you try to you think this is very nice, this is very exciting, this is very good, this is you don't even realize that actually this is lots of pain and lots of disturbance and lots of suffering. You don't understand that true happiness, true peace of mind is something somewhere else. It's in you, but you don't even know that. So therefore, if you can do this, if you can understand this a little bit, then you would naturally, that's why here, we are not taught how to, focus on the breathing, or that's good. Those are very good. Those are methods. Those are techniques. So here they're not talking about the techniques. Okay, you can talk about the techniques also, but here the more basic, techniques are very easy to learn actually. But if you don't have this understanding, then you would not use these techniques, and even if you know the techniques, it wouldn't work, because you are running after something else. You use the technique. You try to calm your mind down. You try to practice. You focus on your breathing and things like that. But what you are actually trying in the back of your mind, purpose, is to bring joy, bring happiness, to bring peace of mind. I want peace of mind. I want peace of mind. And then you can't have peace of mind when you are attached to the peace of mind and running after peace of mind. So therefore, we need to learn that this aversion, attachment, running after, running away from things itself is what is creating problem, what is bringing suffering and pain, So therefore, he's talking a lot about these things. That's why it is necessary to talk about this. Although it's not easy. It's very, very difficult subject. It's something that I don't want to talk usually. When I teach Dharma, usually I don't talk about this, because people will immediately reject. They would not listen. They don't want to listen, because that's not what they like. That's not what they think. That's totally 100% opposite of what we usually in the samsara, do and want and look forward to. So therefore, but here, it's important. It's very, very important. So, if you don't want to listen even now, you don't need to listen. You leave it. There are other things which are very important, and they are also helpful. They're very good. But this is also very, very important. If you can really go into this and listen a little bit and understand a little bit. It is not saying that everybody has to become monks and nuns, and everybody has to give up everything. It's not like that. You cannot. We are not prepared for that. We cannot give up everything because we are not ready. We don't understand that clearly. But a little bit understanding will make us much deeper, much deeper, that we understand really deeply what is really we are talking about, to completely transform ourselves, to really bring genuine and lasting peace and happiness. What is really needed? How to really, free ourselves. And that is not, it doesn't happen to you. It is not easy. It will take maybe many lifetimes. But it is good to have some understanding. And then, when we have lots of problems and difficulties because of our own, then we won't be surprised or shocked or anything like that. Okay, so I stop here. Thank you very much.